again. Welcome back. Thank you very much for participating in the online lecture last week. Thank you very much for completing the quiz that I put up for you on the mobile app. This week we'll do the same kind of thing. We will have an online lecture like we did, and after the lecture, you need to go onto the mobile app again and do the quiz questions for attendance. Exactly the same as we did for the orientation lesson. Before we begin, I'd just like to clear up some things that I spoke about in last week's lecture. One of the things I spoke to you about was how are we going to communicate with each other, communicate with the lecturer, with myself, the professor, and with other students in the class. I don't know if all of you are aware, maybe some of the freshman students aren't aware yet, but there is an app that we use at the university. It's called Band. That's B-A-N-D. What you can do is you can go onto Apple Store, or you can go onto Google Play if you're using Android, and you can download this app and sign up for it. I can't show you on my phone right now because I'm using my phone to record this. But if you, what you could do, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the app on my computer. I'll show you the computer app for it. It looks like this. It's called Band, B-A-N-D. Here's the logo for it. It has a green, if you're downloading it for your phone, it has a green colored logo with a B. So it's like with a lowercase b, it's a green colored logo, and the app's called Band. What you can do is you download it, you sign up for it, give yourself an account. You can sign through Facebook, or you can sign through Naver, however you wish to sign up. Once you do that, I'd like you to please search. Go to search over here. Search for your class's code. So search for your class name and your class code. So for example, if your class is English Conversation 01, I think it's English Conversation 016, please type out English Conversation 016. If it's English Communication 097, please type out English Communication 097, and you will be able to find the group. Okay, the band groups kind of look a little bit like this. You click on the one that is for your class, and then once you've tried to join, I will see your invite. After I see your invite, I will let you into the classes group. Each group is going to be private, so you can search for the group, but I'm going to check who's supposed to be in which class, and then after that, I will invite you into the group, and then we'll be able to see any notices, any bulletins that I need to tell for the whole class. You can reach me directly. You can just send a band text to reach someone directly. You can reach myself. You can reach the other students in the class if you want to communicate with other people in the class. But it's just an easier way to be able to speak to everybody in the class, even if we're not all together in a lab class. So please make sure you do that as soon as possible, so we can all start sharing information you will need for the rest of semester. Right. Enough of that. I'd like to move on to what we'll be doing in today's lecture. Last week, I'd asked you to get yourself textbook. So let me put it over here. Last week, I asked you to get yourself this textbook. It's called Breakthrough Plus, 2nd edition. Here's the cover for it. If you haven't gotten it yet, please make sure that you get your hands on this book as soon as you can. We will be using it today. If you haven't got it today, we'll just follow through in the PowerPoint and just make some notes for yourself. But please make sure that you buy this book as soon as possible. Some of the things we will be covering in this book, I'm hoping that we can get through 10 units. Units 1 to 5 we will do for the midterms, and then we'll do units 6 to 10 for the finals. So we're going to split it up into 2. Now, levels will differ. I'm not entirely sure yet because I haven't spoken to you. I haven't met any of you in person yet. So once I have a better idea how fast or how slow we need to go through this material, the number of units we do can change. They might be a little bit less. They could even be a little bit more, depending on the class and the pace that you can finish this material. Just a quick look at some of the things that we will be looking at. For example, today we're going to do Unit 1. So Unit 1 is going to be lifestyles, and you'll see here is what this textbook should cover. So we will look at some grammar, what new grammar we can learn in this chapter. We'll look at some new vocabulary. We'll spend a little bit of time on pronunciation, not too much this week because obviously I can't hear you. Like I'm not, we're not in person at the moment, so I won't be able to help you too much with that. But in future, yes, we'll work a little bit on pronunciation. I'll try to help you with some problems maybe you might be having with some pronunciation. This book is largely this course is largely a speaking course. I like to focus a lot on speaking and listening and having a conversation in real life. So I'm hoping that you're watching this lesson with somebody, because most of the activities I would like to do in the future are going to involve conversation. You're going to speak in pairs, or you might do group work. As I explained in the lecture last week, a lot of our portfolio assignments is going to be group work, pair work, conversation. So I like to practice the conversation, how you would do it at home. I like to practice in class. So if you do have a partner with you, it's better. So please try and find somebody who can work with you. But if you're by yourself, just practice anyway, and then we'll get you a partner during class when we see you, or during lab when we see you. So yeah, it's mostly going to be speaking exercises, listening activities, comprehension. Can you understand what the conversation is about? We will do a little bit of reading and writing towards the end of the unit. But again, my focus is on grammar, vocabulary, speaking, and listening. Okay, let's get to Unit 1, lifestyles. If you look at the top right-hand corner here, it will tell you some of the things we will cover for this unit. So what is the focus? What will we be discussing in this week's lecture? So our focus will be on daily life around the world. What do people do every day? How do people feel about their daily life? So yeah, just generally, what are people's daily lives from around the world? Some grammar, we will look at simple present tense, how to use adverbs of frequency. Examples of adverbs of frequency are things like always, sometimes, once in a while. Yeah, so we'll look at a few examples of frequency, how often you do something. Lastly, we'll look at some vocabulary, everyday activity vocabulary that you need to use to make better sentences. Right, so to begin with, let's look at these two pictures at the top of your page. So on the top of page 4, please look at the young lady on the left. I'd like you to think. 3 questions I'll give to you. Where do you think she is? What kind of job do you think she does? And how do you think she feels? So number 1, where is she? Number 2, what does she do? What is her job? And number 3 is, how does she feel? I'll give you 1 minute to think about it. Just take a minute to think about those 3 questions. How would you answer those 3 questions? Please remember to use full sentences as you are thinking of answers. Try make a full sentence. I'll give you a minute starting now. Okay, I think that's enough time. So let's think about it. Where is she? Type of answers you could give, maybe she's in a shop. She's in a coffee shop. She's in a cafe. She's at work. She is behind, she's behind a till, or a cash register is another word for till. So she is, and our preposition, she is at work, she is at a cafe, she is behind a cash register, she is behind a counter. Right, so what else do we ask? What do you think her job is? Number 2 is, what is her job? What does she do? Example answer could be, she is a clerk. She is a barista. Another word for clerk you could say is, she is a sales clerk. Right, different kind of answers you could give. Let's think about, how do you think she feels? How does she feel? Well, let's look at her face. No, she's not smiling, she's not frowning. I'd say maybe she's busy, or maybe she's stressed, or maybe she's okay, right? Not smiling, not frowning, she's just okay. Right, let's look at the second picture, picture number 2 on the right. Let's look at all these people. Same questions. Where are they? Where are these people? What are they doing? Okay, what do they do you think? Or how do they feel? How do you think they feel? I'll give you 1 minute again. Answer those questions, starting now. Good. So example answers you could give, full sentences. Where are these people? They are at a park. They are outside. They are under some trees. They are on a path. Right? What do they do? Can't really say for sure, so use your imagination. They are artists, maybe. They are film students. They are actors. Okay, anything you can think of. They are musicians. What do you think they do? And let's think about, how do they feel, do you think? They they're happy. They're excited, right? How do you think they feel looking at their faces? They're smiling, they're relaxed, okay? They're happy. So next thing I want you to do is think about yourself. How would you describe your daily life? Would you say it's great? Right? You have an easy life, maybe? It's wonderful, it's great to have an easy life. Then think about, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe so-so. Life is not easy, but it's okay. It's not too difficult, but it's fine. Maybe your life is very hard. Maybe your life is very difficult. Think about, how do you feel? How do you describe your own life? And let's think of some examples. Why do you feel that way about your daily life? What examples can you give? Let's give you another minute to think about that. How do you feel about your life, and why? Why do you feel that way? Give you 1 minute starting now. Good. Let's give some examples. So perhaps you say, my life is great. It's great. I have an easy life. Maybe I don't have many classes. Um, I always have a chance to see my friends. I never have to go to a part-time job. I have a very easy life. What about, maybe your life is not easy, but it's okay? Yeah, my life's not easy, it's okay. I have to go to some classes during school, but I never have to go to a part-time job. I sometimes see my friends on the weekend. It's not easy, but it's not difficult. It's okay. Maybe you have a very hard life, right? Very difficult life. Maybe I have many classes. I always have to study. I always have to go to a part-time job. I never get to see my friends. I have a very hard life. So those are some examples of how you can describe your daily life. So the next part we're going to look at is, we're going to look at a conversation between two friends on the phone. They're going to discuss or talk about their own daily lives. They're going to use some words that tell you how often they do something. They always do something, they never do something, they hardly ever do something. So listen out for the conversation, and then we're going to do some reading after that. So it's going to be a video. So let's watch the video first, and then after you watch the video, we're going to do listening and reading.
Hi, Diana. It's Raymond. How's life in Iowa?
Terrible. It's freezing here.
That's too bad. The weather's great in London. I'm in Hyde Park right now.
Lucky you. Anyway, why aren't you in class? It's the afternoon there, isn't it?
Yes, but I only have class in the morning. I'm free after lunch, so I usually go to the park, play sports, see my friends.
Hey, that's not fair. I always have class in the afternoons.
Poor you. What do you do in the evening? Aren't you free then?
No, I have a part-time job. I work almost every evening.
Sounds terrible. So how often do you go out?
Hardly ever. I never see my friends, and
Oh, sorry, Diana. Can I call you back? I want to finish my ice cream before I play soccer.
Okay, so looking at the two, Raymond and Diana, you can see their lives are pretty different, right? Diana has a pretty hard life. Okay, she's always working. She's always going to class. But Raymond, not so much. Raymond has a great life. He has a very easy life. He has very few classes. He doesn't have to go to class in the morning. He's living a wonderful, nice life. The weather is great where he is. I want us to listen again, and I'd like you to focus on language of frequency. Remember some examples of vocabulary for language of frequency are words like always, usually, often, sometimes, hardly ever, never. These are some examples of adverbs of frequency. I will play the video again. Please follow in the conversation over here. So while you're listening, please also read along in the conversation. And I would like you to circle the words that you see in the conversation that are examples of frequency, adverbs of frequency. So I'll play it again one more time. Please follow and circle the words.
Hi, Diana. It's Raymond. How's life in Iowa?
Terrible. It's freezing here.
That's too bad. The weather's great in London. I'm in Hyde Park right now.
Lucky you. Anyway, why aren't you in class? It's the afternoon there, isn't it?
Yes, but I only have class in the morning. I'm free after lunch, so I usually go to the park, play sports, see my friends.
Hey, that's not fair. I always have class in the afternoons.
Poor you. What do you do in the evening? Aren't you free then?
No, I have a part-time job. I work almost every evening.
Sounds terrible. So how often do you go out?
Hardly ever. I never see my friends and
Oh, sorry, Diana. Can I call you back? I want to finish my ice cream before I play soccer.
Right. Let's go back to it. So the conversation, Raymond. Hi, Diana. It's Raymond. How's life in Iowa? Where is Iowa? Does anybody know? Well, Iowa is a state in the United States. It's very cold in Iowa. Diana, terrible. It's freezing here. That's too bad. The weather's great in London. I'm in Hyde Park right now. Lucky you. Anyway, why aren't you in class? Isn't it? It's the afternoon there, isn't it? Yes, but I only have class in the mornings. I'm free after lunch. So I usually go to the park. Usually is a frequency adverb. I usually go to the park. Play sports, see my friends. Hey, that's not fair. I always have class in the afternoons. Always, again, is another adverb of frequency. Always have class in the afternoon. Poor you. What do you do in the evening? Aren't you free then? No, I have a part-time job. I work almost every evening. Almost every is an adverb of frequency. Almost every evening. Sounds terrible. So how often do you go out? Hardly ever. Hardly ever, again, is a adverb of frequency. Hardly ever. I never see my friends, and oh, sorry, Diana. Can I call you back? I want to finish this ice cream before I play soccer. Right. So here are some examples of adverbs of frequency that you saw. And on the scale, it tells you how often someone does something using these words. So starting from the very top, the adverbs of frequency are arranged from top to bottom in the order of how frequent, how often they happen. You'll also see that the verb is a simple present tense and that the present continuous is not used when with adverbs of frequency. So, for example, you'll see here that she always has class in the afternoons. She is always having, will never use. He often eats ice cream. He often eating is no, that's wrong. He often eats. Very simple present tense when we use adverbs of frequency. If you would please flip through to page 102, there are some more examples of this I would like to discuss with you. So please turn your page to 102. There's some grammar references here that you can look at for how we use adverbs of frequency. So we use the simple present to talk about things that are generally true. I speak Spanish, or habits and routines. I get up at 9 a.m. every day. We can use this in the affirmative, or we can use this in the negative. They work on weekends. She works hard. I don't live in France. He doesn't live here. We can also use simple present verbs when we're asking yes or no questions. For example, do you study in the evenings? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Does he work? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Or we can also use simple present tense verbs when we're discussing things, when we're asking questions or WH questions. For example, what do you usually have for lunch? Where do you go to school? When does she leave for work? Why does he always get up at 6 a.m.? So that's usually generally when we use simple present tense. But I want to focus here on adverbs of frequency. How do we use adverbs of frequency? So we use frequency adverbs and the simple present to say how often we do something. Again, we use frequency adverbs and the simple present to discuss how often we do something. For example, how often do you clean your room? I clean my room every day. I clean my room once a week. Or I clean my room twice a month. You'll notice I clean. We don't say I cleaning my room. We say I clean up my room. Simple present tense. Or when we answer questions, WH questions, what do you do on weekends? I always have breakfast at 10 a.m. I usually watch TV in the mornings. I often talk to my friends on the phone. I sometimes eat a big lunch on Sundays. I hardly ever do my homework. I never get up early. So adverbs of frequency come before the main verb. So the main verb here is have. I always have breakfast. I usually watch TV. I often talk with my friends. No ing. I usually watching? No, I usually watch. I often talking? No, I often talk. So if you're having trouble, if you need a reference of how to use this language, please look on page 102 to help you with the following exercises. Right, let's go back to page 4. Sorry, let's go back to page 5. Right, on page 5, we're going to discuss a few types of vocabulary on, excuse me. I want us to discuss some vocabulary, some things we can use to help us talk about our daily lives. They're going to be short things using simple present to talk about things that we do every day and how do we use the grammar. Right. If you look on page 100, if you look on page 5, number 1, vocabulary. There are expressions that we can use to describe our daily lives, things that we do every day. So for example, number 1, I'm going to read it out. Please repeat with me so you can hear the pronunciation of these words. So number 1, skip breakfast. Number 2, make a cup of coffee. Number 3, go out with your friends. Number 4, check your email. Number 5, do your homework. Number 6, clean up your flat. Ooh, that might be a strange word. A flat. Clean up your flat. What is a flat? Well, a flat in UK English, Yongguk English, a flat is the same as an apartment. So in American English and in Korea, we call the places you live an apartment. If you go to the UK or if you go to Australia, New Zealand, or even South Africa, where I'm from, we say flat. Clean up your flat. Number 7, call a friend. And number 8, take a shower. Please look at the pictures on page 5 on the side here. On the corner, you'll see there are letters A to H. Please match the pictures with the activity. So for example, number 1 was skip breakfast, and that is H at the bottom. Please match the others with the correct vocabulary. I will give you 2 minutes to complete that and we'll carry on. Starting now. Take your time, look carefully at the vocabulary and the picture. Put the correct letter next to the correct vocabulary. Okay, I think you've had about enough time. Let's answer these questions together. Right, we've said number 1 was H, let's get breakfast. What's number 2? Make a cup of coffee. Number 2. F, make a cup of coffee. How about number 3? Go out with your friends. Number 3. A, go out with your friends. Number 4, check your email. Number 4 is C, check your email. Number 5, do your homework. Number 5, do your homework is B, do your homework. Number 6, clean up your flat. Number 6, clean up your flat. D, clean up your flat. Number 7, call a friend. Number 7, call a friend. E. And last one, take a shower. Number 8, take a shower is G. All right, please make sure you've written the correct letters. 1H, 2F, 3A, 4C, 5B, 6D, 7E, 8G. Right, so for the next section, number 2, we're going to talk about the order that you do something. What is order? Order goes from the first thing you do to the last thing you do. You see, for number 2, there are different things that you do in your daily life. Ooh, excuse me. So these activities here, let's read through them together quickly. Get dressed. Wake up. Get up. Right, these two I want to discuss quickly. Wake up and get up. What is the difference between those two? Okay, they are slightly different, but they're almost the same. So if I tell you that I wake up, which means I'm sleeping, and I open my eyes. So I wake up. To get up is to actually move my body up and out of bed. That is getting up. So to wake up, I can wake up and stay in bed, maybe watch TV or play on my phone. That's me waking up. Getting up is to actually move my body up and out of my bed. That is get up. Okay, almost the same, just slightly different. So, wake up, get up. Eat dinner. Go to college or go to work. Have lunch. Get home. Go to bed. Right, so what I'd like you to do is to number these things. There are 8 of them in your life. Think about your own daily routine. In what order do you do these things? So starting from number 1 is the first thing that you do. What is the first thing that you do? Number 2, the second thing you do. Number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. What is the order that you do things in your daily routine? I'll give you 1 minute to complete that for me, please. 1 minute starting now. Remember, guys, there is no correct answer for this. This is your own daily life. So everybody's life might be different, right? So just for yourself, what order do you do these things? Write in the answers. Okay, so let me use myself as an example. What order do I usually do things in my daily life? Well, in the morning, number one, I usually wake up. I wake up in the morning, maybe check my phone if I have any messages. Then I usually get up. I get up out of bed, and then after that, I go take a shower, brush my teeth, get ready. After I shower and brush my teeth, I get dressed. Right? You get dressed, get ready for school, get ready for work. After I'm finished that, oh, doesn't have it here. Okay, I'll say I go to work. Or for you, you say you go to college. I go to work. After that, I have lunch. All right, number five, I have lunch. And number six, I would say I go home. Right? I go home. Number seven, probably I eat dinner. And then last one, number eight, I go to bed. Now, for everyone, these ones may be different. Okay, there's no correct answer. It's just yourself. What order do you do things? Right. So, I would like you to, if you have a partner with you, I'd like you to ask your partner these questions. When do you do these things? Right? Or if you don't have a partner, just answer them for yourself. I want you to try. There's eight of them. I want you to ask each other questions for each eight of these examples here. So, for example, um, I woke up at 8 a.m. How about you? I I wake up at 8 a.m. How about you? I wake up at 7 a.m. Right? Then your partner, you choose another question. I get dressed at 7:30. How about you? I get dressed at 8:30. Okay? So talk to each other, ask each other questions. Give your own example. When do you do something? And then ask your partner, how about you? When do you do something? So there's eight examples. Please, each of you ask four. Right? I will give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Speak to your partner and practice a conversation of your daily routine. Okay, ready and go. Okay, so you get the general idea, how to explain what your daily routine is, how to ask your partner about what do they do in their daily routine. The next part I would like to discuss is we're going to look at a real life situation, a real life conversation, how a conversation would go, how you would ask questions about someone's daily routine. Now, if you look here, real life exchange, what I'll do is please listen, and then you're going to complete this conversation. So if you look here, there are spaces, there are words or phrases missing in these spaces. What I'd like you to do is listen carefully, and then first listen, and then I'll play it again, and then write in what the missing phrases are. Oh, let me open this up quickly. Let's start that again. So listen first, and then I'll play it again, and then write in the missing parts. Ready?
What's your favorite day of the week? I guess I prefer Sundays. I always listen to music in the morning, and then in the afternoon I see my family. Yes, I do. And after that I watch a movie. Yes. I usually go to bed at 2 a.m. What's your favorite day of the week?
Oh, I like Saturdays. I usually wake up early and then I go out with friends. What about you?
I guess I prefer Sundays. I always listen to music in the morning, and then in the afternoon I see my family.
What do you do in the evening? Do you sometimes cook dinner?
Yes, I do. And after that I watch a movie.
Do you go to bed late?
Yes. I usually go to bed at 2 a.m.
All right. Let me play it through one more time. Please fill in the missing spaces. Ready?
What's your favorite day of the week? I guess I prefer Sundays. I always listen to music in the morning, and then in the afternoon I see my family. Yes, I do. And after that I watch a movie. Yes. I usually go to bed at 2 a.m. What's your favorite day of the week?
Oh, I like Saturdays. I usually wake up early and then I go out with friends. What about you?
I guess I prefer Sundays. I always listen to music in the morning, and then in the afternoon I see my family.
What do you do in the evening? Do you sometimes cook dinner?
Yes, I do. And after that I watch a movie.
Do you go to bed late?
Yes. I usually go to bed at 2 a.m.
Good. Let's get back to here. Right. So let's answer what's missing here. So, what's your favorite day of the week? Answer for number one was. Oh, sorry. Got to fill in those. Answer number one was. I like Saturdays. I usually wake up early. And then I go out with my friends. How about you? Hey, I guess I prefer Sundays. I always listen to music in the morning, and then in the afternoons, I see my family. What do you do in the evening? Do you sometimes cook dinner? Yes, I do. And after that, I watch a movie. Do you go to bed late? Yes, I usually go to bed at 2 a.m. Right, if you have a partner with you, I'd like you please to use this conversation, practice this conversation using some of the different some of the different examples we have here at the bottom, right? So use conversation one. Your partner can start with A, or you can be A and your partner be B, using the examples for conversation one. Then I'd like you to change roles. Okay, I want you to change. Maybe your partner is A and you will be B, and use conversation two, right? And try again, change roles again. Conversation three, put in those examples over here. For example, I'll do conversation one for you so you can understand what I mean. So, A, what's your favorite day of the week? B, oh, I like Saturdays. I usually get up early and then I go out with friends. How about you? A, I usually prefer Sundays. I always sleep, right? I always sleep in the morning and then in the afternoon I see my family. B, what do you do in the evening? Do you always cook dinner? Yes, I do. And after that, I call a friend. Do you go to bed late? Not really. I usually go to bed at 12:30. That's just an example using conversation one. Right, I'll give you 5 minutes with your partner. Please, I'd like you to try these, practice speaking out loud, try these conversations using conversation two and conversation three with your partner. 5 minutes starting now. Okay, you should have done conversation two by now. Let's go through it. What's your favorite day of the week? Oh, I like Saturdays. I usually have breakfast early and then go out with friends. What about you? I guess I prefer Sundays. I always clean up my room in the morning and then in the afternoon I see my family. What do you do in the evening? Do you often cook dinner? Yes, I do. And after that, I do my homework. Do you go to bed late? No, I don't. I usually go to bed at 11 o'clock. Right, please try the same with conversation three, but this time change your roles. So if you were A before, I'd like you to be B this time. And if you were B, please do A. Okay, ready and go. Okay, I think that's enough time. Let's go through it together. Conversation 3. What's your favorite day of the week? Oh, I like Saturdays. I usually take a shower early and then go out with friends. How about you? I guess I prefer Sundays. I always watch TV in the morning and then in the afternoon I see my family. What do you do in the evening? Do you usually cook dinner? Yes, I do. And after that, I check my email. Do you go to bed late? Hardly ever. I usually go to bed before midnight. Please, for the last one, remember there's no at, right? Before midnight. Good. Right. That'll be it for this unit. Please, I would like you guys to also do a little bit of a little homework assignment for me. This is just something I want you guys to do so I see that you've gone through this lecture. If you look on page 102 again, there's a short homework assignment, a short activity. Ooh, sorry, let's go back there. So I'm going through this. Over here. Oh, this is a little bit more confusing than I'd hoped. Right, here on page 100 and 102. Please, guys, could you try these exercises on your own at home? Please try do 1, 2, and 3. Page 102, number 1, 2, and 3. You can use these to help you. Try complete these, and we will go over them together when I see you in class next time. All right, so 1, 2, and 3, page 102. Also, guys, please don't forget to do the quiz. Again, the quiz will be open for you at your class time on the Songyeo mobile app. Also, please don't forget to join the band class group. It's your class number, your class code. Please join the group and I'll invite you in. Thank you very much for participating in this class. I hope it was informative. I will see you again, or I'll see you in person starting from next week, hopefully. So take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.